How are huge cargoes transported? Wind generators that convert the energy of the wind flow first into mechanical energy and then into electrical one are being built more and more often today. They differ from others in some things. Firstly, they do not need raw materials, and secondly, they do not leave waste. In general, an ideal way to extract electricity. But there is one big but. It is not possible to build a windmill everywhere. A high average annual wind level is required for the installation to work. Appropriate places are searched for a long time, and unfortunately, most of them are located far from civilization. Have you ever imagined what an incredible size the propeller blades have? You haven't? It is huge. Even bringing them to the construction site is quite a difficult task, but people are successfully coping with it. The length of one of the longest blades in the world is 88.4 meters. The weight is about 60 tons. This tractor overcame a path of 218 kilometers long, while engineers had to plot a route for 9 months to be sure that such a machine would fit into the rotation. Everything happened in Denmark in 2016. Such blades were installed on a mega windmill, and the rotor span of which eventually amounted to 180 meters. For comparison, the diameter of London Eye is 120 meters. Endeavour. It's a reusable transport spacecraft designed and built by NASA. Construction began on August 1, 1987. From May 1992 to June 2011, the shuttle made 25 flights. In total, Endeavour spent 299 days in space. He made 4,671 revolutions around the Earth, flying in total 200 million kilometers. In October 2011, people living in California were lucky enough to observe the last movements of this incredible machine. After working for 19 long years, the shuttle finally retired. His last destination was the California Science Center in Los Angeles. The spacecraft had to be driven right through the streets of the city in front of the thousands of spectators. Endeavour overcame 19 kilometers of its last journey. The machine had to be moved at the speed of 3.2 kilometers per hour, and in order to make transportation possible at all, local authorities were forced to cut down about 400 trees. In general, to be honest, I can't even imagine what an incredible amount of nervous people spend when they have to move such huge objects from place to place. The yacht 175 Pingjin was nicknamed the Silver Giant for a reason. The length of the vessel is 53.9 meters. The width is 9.5500 meters. At the time of the descent into the water, in 2017, it was the world's largest carbon composite sloop. Its weight was 245 tons. It's scary even to imagine how much such a yacht can cost. And it's even scarier to imagine how expensive at least one mistake in the transportation process would be. Fortunately, there were no incidents. The vessel was successfully delivered and then launched into the city of Jakobs, Finland. Meet a special platform designed for the extraction of raw materials from the Goliath oil field. By the way, it's named in honor of this very deposit. Surely some of you at first thought that it was some kind of house of a bizarre shape, and to be honest, I understand you very well. Because the weight of Goliath is 64,000 tons, and the diameter is the same as standard football field. The height of the giant, from the base to the torch tower, was 170 meters. The most striking thing in my opinion is that the platform was built at South Korean shipyard, despite the fact that it was supposed to be operated in the Barents Sea near Norway. So it took as much as 60 days to transport the giant. The Dockwise Vanguard cargo vessel, the largest ever built and designed to transport cargo weighing up to 110,000 tons, was involved in the operation. And here is another huge object that also had to be moved across the water. By the way, here transportation was also carried out by the forces of the ship Dockwise Vanguard. That's what I understand popularity. In general, moving semi-submerged drilling platforms like this too is quite common. I mean, there are a lot of wells all over the world and platforms are built to extract raw materials, and then they are slowly and very carefully moved to their destination. I wanted to show this particular cargo transportation because it was unique. Dockwise Vanguard was able to transport as many as 2 platforms at the same time. After loading, the distance between them did not exceed 8 meters. They had to be transported from Brazil to Singapore. And although the transportation of this object was carried out for a long time back, in 1988, I simply could not mention this in video. That's because the height of the Bullwinkle oil platform that you see on the screen is 416 meters. It's higher than Statue of Liberty and Eiffel Tower combined. The scale of the project to deliver the platform to the Gulf of Mexico is difficult even to realize, because the weight of the platform is 49.4 thousand tons. The destination was an oil field located 260 kilometers southwest of the city of New Orleans, USA. When the oil platform was assembled, its height was 529 meters. According to rumors, about $500 million was spent on the whole work. I wonder how much money was spent to transportation.